What's good, YouTube fam? It's your boy Tony, aka the Center of the Chaos and Controversy, and this video is going to be based around the premise of me more or less getting into more details and hitting upon the more accuracy of the video that I did yesterday in regards to black women going out their way to petition to cancel Kevin Samuels. Okay, now I know and I understood when I went to go address this, I was going to get some backlash for it. Not on a disrespectful tone, but like I said, I welcome people who don't agree with me. And I was going back and forth with I think his name was Andy Up. And I understood his point. I understood where he was coming from because you can't make generalizing with the broad stroke of a brush kind of standpoint. And I did put that as a side note, towards the end of the video that I wasn't trying to generalize, all black women when I went to go about addressing, my point of view. But to get more in depth, because I don't think a lot of people went to the comment section and saw the back and forth between him and I. Now I'm gonna just say with the general, you know, uh, presentation that women today, compared to women like back in the day with our aunties, our moms, um, what have you, the behaviors and the mentality and how they see things and their attitude towards certain things is completely different. People were a little more self-conscious and more presentable. Had had more dignity and self-respect back in those days. And I'm not saying you didn't have those few that was a little risque, but it wasn't to the altitude and level of what we see today, you know. But to break it down a little bit, because it's going to go into some layers of me pointing this out. The way I see a good portion of women, especially in the black community, they don't care too much about the well-being of the so-called black king. Okay, and I'm being an antagonist right now intentionally. They don't care to protect their fellow black men. Um, you won't only hear from me; you'll hear from other people. You just go down the rabbit hole of YouTube or any other social media platform. You hear how black women tear down the black men. They are very highly opinionated in a negative way. See, I'm gonna give an example. My parents, black, both. The example that I saw growing up was my dad hands on with everything. We didn't have to get an electrician, we didn't have to get a plumber, we didn't have to get a mechanic, we didn't have to get none of those because my dad knew how to do it all. He was a tool and die maker by trade. Came out the Air Force with an associate's degree. My mom had a bachelor's degree. He was from North Carolina, she was from Atlanta, Georgia. I seen the team effort, the unity. And yes, my mom was hard, you know, but they worked together. They didn't tear each other down. If they had a disagreement, they talked about it. Yeah, it got to a little point where it was a little frustrating at times, but I didn't see no violence in the household. I didn't see him putting her down or her putting him down. They worked together. They established a foundation, a family foundation. Okay? Do you see that today? No. And the argument is that, well, a lot of black men don't want to take responsibility for their children. You could say that in one breath, but if I say A lot of black women are hoes. You ready to sit there and jump down my throat, but advocate and support the first statement saying that black men don't want to take care of the kids. That's based off an opinion. That's making a generalized assumption. If I come off trying to talk about a particular talking point, I try my best not to use generalizing standpoints. But how do you address something? Because I gotta say, okay, I'm speaking specifically towards this portion or this group or this demographic. And sometimes things should just obviously be understood. But for clarification, this is what I've seen. And looking it up, you know, as I say, go do your research because I'm not here to do the homework for you, because I'm not going to be there when it comes time for you to take the fucking test. I'm not going to hand you a cheat sheet. No. The court system, we all know when it comes to fathers, it doesn't matter what color you are. A relationship falls apart. Hear me now. A relationship falls apart. The first thing a woman wants to do, because she's all in her feelings, she don't want you to move on, but she can have any kind of fucking nigga or questionable type of men running in and out your house, especially if you have a daughter. You have a right as a father to question who is around your children, but they will tell you it's none of your goddamn business. Focus on you, boo-boo. We ain't together anymore. You stay in your lane. Okay. All right. Fair enough. But then when you get reports, a person hand delivering you a vanilla envelope telling you got to go to court because some nigga done put his hands beating your baby mama and beating your child. And mind you, this is the same female who had your child that cheated on you. Okay? So now you gotta go do damage control. You wanna beat the brakes off of this motherfucker that put their hands on your child. I was that individual who was working at my job and had to have those papers served to me to go to court because she was at risk of losing her kids. Because she chose to be in a relationship running behind a no-good motherfucker. See, I want people to understand the difference, right? Now, I'm the one who pays my child support. I'm the one who has to look after my kids. I'm the one who, have to work multiple jobs and stuff like that just so I don't go to jail. And God forbid if something happens where I get sick or I get into a car accident or whatever the case may be and I'm out of work, you want to take my license away so I can't go back and forth to a job that's probably like 2 towns over or an hour's drive away. But you want me to be in compliance with child support. Meanwhile, the mom can go off and do whatever the fuck she want to do, go party, take that child support money, support another no good motherfucker. Meanwhile, your kid is like, hey, did you get some clothes? No. How come you still wearing them beat up damn shoes and why is your clothes all dirty? Didn't your mom buy you some new clothes for school? No. What's your mom doing with the money that she's getting for child support? I don't know. She's going to go get weed. She drinks and she got all sorts of people running in and out the house. But when I talk about those type of women, all of a sudden people run to the defense of those type of women. You hear what I'm saying now? Those type of women who don't care about their kids going to see their father or their father being in the kid's life. All they are to them is just a fucking paycheck. And then They don't just stop with you. They lay up with other motherfuckers just to pump out babies and stuff. You know? So then they don't have to go to work. Why? Because, the system, the government coddles them. Oh, you can get SNAP benefits. How many children are in the house? Oh, is the father present? No? Okay. You want cash assistance? Oh, is the father in the house? Are they present? No. Do you want Section 8 housing? How many kids do you have? Oh. But I'm wrong. I'm not in the right. Oh, it's just based on my opinions. It seems like if it's just solely based around opinions, then why are those things put into place? How come I'm able to point those examples out if they didn't exist? Bringing drama to your job because they're all in their feelings. Now again, mind you, you broke up because the relationship was toxic. You got a lot of toxic relationships. And I said, you know what? Back in the day, the argument, you wouldn't hear nothing from me. You wouldn't even have me disagree with you. Because I was going on like, damn, I'm one of the good guys. When I get into the relationship, I'm with that person and that person only. I don't believe in venturing outside the relationship. But what I come across was a lot of females that, they wanted a bad boy. They wanted to find someone who they can fix because they're broken. They wanted a hood nigga. They didn't want nobody that was responsible, has an education, went to work, probably worked more jobs than just one. Give them money to buy clothes. Give them money to get their hairs and nails done. But then they cheat on you, or they cheat on those type of men to go entertain motherfuckers that don't have anything going for them. But those are the examples of men that you want to say that are no good. Now, here's the funny part about that aspect. Those type of men that these women go to entertain, that they want to, feel like they're I don't know, depending, that they're so much above so that they could control them, or they feel like whatever the case, whatever their reasoning for choosing those types, and either friend zoning you or get with you and cheat on you with these type of individuals. Those are the ones that they give a pass on child support. They don't go after them. So when the argument is presented to me, well, look how many men don't pay child support. Well, whose fault is that? These women give a pass to these deadbeat, no good, thugged out hood type of individuals. Oh, I forgot, because they out in the street selling drugs and shit. They bring that drug money into the house. So of course they're not going to be put on child support. But you get a person that's working a 9 to 5 plus. Oh, he's responsible. Let's put him on child support. Let's make his life difficult. And like I said before, because I don't see when I make these videos how people just conveniently just cherry pick certain things that I say, but disregard the things that I said before and after. When you got these men that leave these relationships because they don't want that type of behavior, so to speak, to be accepted, or things that their children deem acceptable to look up to, and they feel, okay, you know what, I'm gonna be responsible, and I'm gonna just go ahead and you know what, leave the relationship. It's not working out between me and the mother. I don't want the kids seeing this growing up. You know what, I'm gonna just leave. I'm still be there for my kid. I'm still take care of my child. I'm still be there to raise my kid. Because the woman feels some kind of way, because that man made that decision to no longer be with her because it's not working out, that's when the vindictiveness comes in. That's when the payback comes into play. That's where the I'ma show you type of attitude, how dare you leave me? Even though I was disrespectful to you, even though I strayed outside the relationship and cheated on you and had me a side nigga. But a man has to sacrifice his worth to entertain that type of woman, to stay in a relationship with that type of woman. I mean, help me understand that. So that's what you want me to support. That's what you want me, those are the type of women who you want me to get behind and say, yes, 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 yes. I don't make generalizations. When I talk about a particular area, I'm speaking solely and only to that particular area. Now, am I aware that there are women that are independent, aren't on government assistance, got an education? I just used the example of my mom towards the beginning of this video. My sister went to the military, finished college. Works a good job. Well, did work a good job. I mean, okay. And then in Houston, when I left Connecticut and moved to Houston for a little bit, I saw a grand scale of women, black women, who either if they didn't have their own business, they were working in a good, high-paying job, had their own house, was paying their own mortgage, was never married, didn't have any kids, had their own vehicle, paid their own bills. And if they wanted to be with you, they wanted to be with you because that's who they wanted to be with. And if they didn't end up with these trifling ass niggas, and you just happen to be one of those that didn't take those type of women for granted, was appreciative that they gave you the time of day, invited you into their home, helped build you up, you don't see too many of those type of examples. You don't. What you hear and see more of are those that run behind and patting themselves behind Nicki Minaj, a Cardi B, a Megan Thee Stallion. You don't have those Aretha Franklins. You don't have those Diana Rosses. You don't have those Whitney Houstons. And this is talking about like back in the day. I mean, before all like the shit went downhill with you know, their lifestyles just going into turmoil. Because what we have as examples now is what you see. So I don't know how I could help differentiate the difference between the point that I was trying to make when I was talking specifically towards a particular, a certain demographic of women. It's like saying, okay, it's like if I know there's a working class of black men, I don't need to really give the examples of law enforcement, EMTs, doctors, those within the education system, such as college professors, teachers, deans, counselors. I don't have to go into the medical profession to talk about the doctors, the nurses, and pharmacists. I don't have to talk about EMTs. I don't have to talk about um, blue collar workers, those that work in what you call it, factories and warehouses and construction. I don't have to use those examples because I know they exist just as well as I also know that those that aren't productive, that are in the hood, into that gang life, that drug life, we all know they exist. So why do people go out their way to try to insult my intelligence as if when I'm speaking on something, they gonna act conveniently out of the convenience of pretending that they don't know what I'm talking about, and then deflect and say, "Oh, that's just based on your opinion." Really? Anyway, tell me what y'all think. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the thumbs up, hit the thumbs down. Till next time, peace.